I'm Ted Rogers. I'm the Associate Pastor of Lakeside Presbyterian Church, also the Executive Director of the Lakeside Institute of Theology. So, welcome to our Reminders of God series. You know, we were thinking today, Glenda and I were talking today, Glenda's my wife, beautiful wife, and we were thinking about that idea of romantic love. I mean, oh, how wonderful. I remember still like it was yesterday, our very first date. Our very first date was to go, this was back in 1982. We went to see the movie On Golden Pond. Now, given the title, I initially thought On Golden Pond, well, that's where urologists ice skate. But no, it really was a wonderful, wonderful movie about a couple who had been married for at least 50 years and still were involved in a romantic love relationship. So it really was one of those, the best first date movies you could ever have hoped for. It was just absolutely wonderful. And romantic love, if we're really lucky, if we're really blessed, romantic love transforms us into being a better person because we want to be that person that our significant other actually thinks that we are. Kind of like we want to try to live up to the idea of being the person our dog thinks we are, except this is so much more important. And then there's another kind of love, and that's love the discipline. Love the discipline. The parent caring for a special needs child. The husband or wife caring for a spouse with significant emotional, mental, or physical needs. The adult child taking care of a dying parent, a very ill parent, taking care of their emotional needs, their physical needs, sometimes their financial needs. And boy, Glenda and I have been there doing that. Romantic love, it may make us a better person. But the thing is, love the discipline always, always makes this world a more noble place. The Pharisees approached Jesus and they asked him, trying to entrap him, "What is the greatest commandment, teacher, Rabbi? What is the greatest commandment?" And in Matthew 22, 37 through 40, Jesus responded, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." The word Christ used here for love was the word agapeo. It's a verb, and what it means literally is selfless love. There is inherent in the meaning a sense of sacrifice, a call to that which is not easy. It is, at the very least, giving of ourselves and acting out of love for the unlovable. Let's say that again. Acting out on love for the unlovable. Because if we are not expressing love for the unlovable, then what virtue does that love present? G.K. Chesterton noted, and I quote, "The Bible tells us to love our neighbors, and it tells us to love our enemies, probably because they are generally the same person." Okay, all humor aside, oft-times, he is correct. We love ourselves, don't we? I mean, we may not always like ourselves, but we always work to make sure that we're adequately fed. We always work to make sure we're adequately clothed. We always work to make sure that we house ourselves, that we take care of our medical needs, even though we have missteps, and we know we have missteps. The gut-wrenching question then is, do we also do with as much passion and zeal? Do we also work for the benefit of our neighbor, our fellow man, for their feeding, for their clothing, for their shelter, for their medical care, regardless of his or her missteps? If not, are we waiting for them to become somehow, in our eyes, our estimation, lovable, good enough? My friends, if that's the case, then we have turned Christ's words of incredible wisdom into a mere platitude. The love Christ is talking about is a verb. It's an action. It's a service. It's a sacrifice. Not simply a state of being, as in being in love. And it has absolutely no preconditions as to merit. I don't know about you, but when I think through this Matthew 22:37 through 40 passage, I think to myself, wow, I've got a lot of work to do, and it's time to get working. Grace, peace, and love to you. To God be the glory. Amen.